One of the things I also did with amplification was not only amplifying the action of eating an apple, which has already some sound, but I also became interested in amplifying something which doesn't have any sound at all from itself. And one of the pieces I made using this was song number 3, as it is called. And in this piece I watched many singers when they're singing, all kind of singers, like opera singers, but also someone like Michael Jackson or Adele, and how they move when they're singing and what kind of gestures they use. And I realized it seems to be very important for a singer that you use your whole body. And I wanted to make a piece where this body became audible, where you could hear the sound of this body, which is of course not audible anyway, because it doesn't make really much sound. But I composed the sound for these gestures and what would happen if you could sing through these gestures or talk through these gestures. For this piece I used a loudspeaker. Here we see one. And this loudspeaker is playing some sound, and it's again similar to what we saw. I quickly turn on already the piece a bit, so we hear, I don't think this is audible on the video. It's a very soft sound, and it's also not very well audible for the audience. I use the same idea, the same technology as I did with the apple. I use a microphone, but this time the other microphone, which is able not to get vibrations through material, but to sound itself. And normally I don't speak, and when I stop speaking you can hear what's happening. And every time the microphone comes to the loudspeaker starts to make noise. Slightly different noises, because that's how I programmed it. So I'm not amplifying anything here. I'm not amplifying anything here, but every time I put the microphone close to the sound of the loudspeaker, it's going to do some different processing in the computer. At the very end of the piece, I, for example, play a sound which changes according to how far away I am from the loudspeaker. And in this way, I can control the sound with my gestures, so to say. The loudspeaker is in front of my mouth, and the microphone moves back and forward from it. I'm gonna give you a short example of this. So as you see, the microphone is here not amplifying anything, but it's controlling the sound. And in this way, I could have all kinds of gestures connected to all kinds of sounds. And I chose sounds which are not really singing sound, but it is connected to the voice in some way. The sounds in the beginning are like... I wanted something which is not understandable. I wanted someone who's saying something really urgent. and you don't see my face because it's behind the loudspeaker, and I put a paper on the loudspeaker, so you really can't see my face, you can't see my expression, but it is about really how the sound can be expressive. And if I would use words there, if I would say, oh, I'm so angry, or this is very important, or listen, I really have to tell you something, then for me it would kind of have become much too clear what it is about, because I want this kind of association should be much more open. And this is why I like to work with sounds, and especially also with sounds which do not have a direct meaning or something, where it's very clear what it is about, because these sounds are open for it's kind of talking, but not really. So it's kind of open what this person is saying, and that's something which I really like to do with sounds, that it has this openness and it can bring you somewhere else than when I would say it with words, because then it would be clear I'm saying like, hey, I really have to talk with you, and that is for me much too clear into one direction.